Hello again everyone and welcome to my new project, which is to play all the secret levels in all the id Software games. Secret levels were a bit of a gimmick or tradition in 90s gaming. A lot of games had them, especially first-person shooters and platformers as well, though it started to fade away towards the end of the decade and didn't quite make it into the new millennium. Although some exceptions do exist, I remember Serious Sam the First Encounter had two secret levels in it. And why id Software? Well, they are one of my favorite gaming companies, a huge part of my childhood. And if you've been following my channel up to this point, you surely know how much Doom related stuff I've done thus far. So, id Software was founded, as far as I remember, in early 91 by four people. At least three of them worked at Softdisk, which was a software company based in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm not sure about the fourth one, maybe he worked there too. Anyway, the founding members of id Software were John Carmack, of course, Adrian Carmack, who is not related to John, it's just a coincidence, John Romero, and Tom Hall. And the founding of id would not have been possible without the success of their very first release. And that was the very first Commander Keen, Episode 1, Marooned on Mars. The first three Keen episodes form a trilogy, which is called Invasion of the Vorticons. And then later they made another trilogy called Goodbye Galaxy, although technically only the first two games, that's episode 4 and 5, constitute Goodbye Galaxy. However, the sixth game uses the same engine, the same interface, so it's not uncommon for these three games to be considered a trilogy. So, today we'll be starting with the first Keen, id Software's first real game, their debut. Just let me get rid of these. And since we're playing a DOS game, you know where we're going. Now, what can I say about Keen 1? Well, being their first release, they had to, show what they're capable of. Impress the audience. Okay, we'll see a quick intro. And yeah, the game was distributed by Apogee. They worked with id on quite a few projects. They were pretty close friends for a while. And here we are, Marooned on Mars. And of course, when you're a new gaming company, you should introduce yourself, and that's why there is a whole section called About id. We're a group of software artists whose goal is to bring commercial quality software to the public at shareware prices. And speaking of shareware, Keen 1 was a shareware release, which means that it was free to download and play. Keen 2 and 3, however, had to be purchased. Oh, and here we see their original motto, "We're in demand." Well, can you be in supply as well? Also, let's take a quick look at previews. It advertises episodes 2 and 3, but there's also another interesting thing in there. Ooh, I wonder what it could be. Okay, so here's a quick advertisement for the Commander Keen trilogy. And below it, coming soon from id Software. And they're advertising something called The Fight for Justice, a completely new approach to fantasy gaming. You start not as a weakling with no food, you start as Quake. Quake. Ooh, this sounds oddly familiar. Indeed, this is the first mention of Quake, and not as the title of a game, but as the name of the protagonist. The strongest, most dangerous person on the continent. Yeah, he starts with a hammer of thunderbolts, which actually appeared in Quake in the first mission pack. A ring of regeneration. Well, there was a ring of invisibility in Quake. And a transdimensional artifact. I think there were plans for something like this in Quake. It was called the Hellgate Cube, I think, but it never became a reality. At any rate, the fight for justice never really became a reality, but the name Quake eventually became the name of a first-person shooter, quite similar to Doom. Anyway, before we get to the actual secret level of this game, I want to very quickly show you a little something. So that's the start of the game. We are on Mars, and that's the first level. Now, levels in this game don't have official names, but they have fan-given names, and this one is usually referred to as the border town. And near the start of the level is this peculiar structure with an id log on top. I can give you a better view if I jump up. Just a sec. You know, this engine was quite a technical breakthrough at the time. John Carmack was always a bit of a, technology nerd. So anyway, look at this thing with the logo. It looks almost like a shrine or a marker. A marker that indicates the place where the history of id Software begins. Now, I don't know if this was their intention, but it surely feels that way. It's like they were trying to say, well, this is day one of our history. We don't know how far we will go, but this is where we start. And that's why I generally treat this as a holy place of sorts. And keep in mind, id started with only 4 people, and nowadays I think they have more than 200. Wow, they've come a long way. Yeah, let's go. Okay, on to the actual secret level. And of course I've prepared myself a saved game. Okay, here we are on the right side of Mars, or dark side of Mars as it's called in the game. The secret level is in a hidden valley somewhere on Mars, and if we go here, you can just see on the right side of the screen there is an empty space. That's the hidden valley, but how do we get there? Well, there is a hidden teleporter here in a level known as the Red Maze City. And it's called this way because it's a maze and because it's red. Ooh, did I blow your minds with this? So anyway, I'll actually pause while I get to the actual secret exit so that you won't have to watch me navigate the maze. Be right back. Okay, so at some point in the red maze you will come across this hole in the ground. It leads to the level's underworld, and it's a pretty risky place to be in. You see those fires, you have to avoid them. But directly below the hole there is another fire, so after avoiding these fires, you have to turn left or right quickly to avoid the one that's directly below, like this. Ooh, there we go. Oh, the cannon! I forgot about the cannon. Okay, I'll turn off the sound for a while. So, we're in the underground, and to the left is an area with bonus items, and to the right is this ice cannon, which unfortunately makes a lot of annoying noises. But how do we reach it? Do you see a small gray pixel above my head? That's an invisible platform that you can stand on. Invisible platforms in this game are recognized by this small gray pixel. And now I have to use the ice cannon to actually jump over this wall. There's a security robot behind it, so I hope he doesn't shoot me. That would be very inconvenient. Okay, let's give it a try. You have to time it. Ooh, good. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, I dodged it successfully. I can turn the sound back on. And right below me is the secret teleporter. That will take me to the secret level. And here we are in the hidden valley. Ooh, look at this. At the bottom right portion of the screen. Could this be Phobos or Deimos? Ooh, Doom foreshadowing. Anyway, this here is the secret level in question. Let's dig into it. Okay, don't fall down. These guys are friendly and will not hurt you, however they can push you around, which can be dangerous, so avoid them. You can stun them by jumping on top of them, or you can shoot them if you feel cruel enough. I'll try not to, I want to be humane. Oh, what the heck. So the entirety of the level is made of these red blocks. I don't know why they decided to do it like this. I suppose Tom Hall was in charge of level design. I'm not sure, but makes sense that it would be him. He was the, you know, creative director guy of idsoft back at the time. Actually, should I go up there? No, but I'll just go to the main part of the level. There are a lot of dead ends that just have treasure items in them. Some platforms. Yeah, there's quite a bunch of treasure in this level. It has to be rewarding after all. But there are some monsters as well, so don't let your guard down. Oh, and here's the exit. But I don't know how to reach it. Perhaps I'll climb up here. Ah, you see that? He pushed me. Sometimes being too friendly is not very nice. Yeah, I think I have enough ammo. Oh, plenty of shots. Yeah, this status screen, it's like a very early predecessor of, you know, the PDA in Doom 3 or the Codex in the modern Doom games. It just shows you what items you have collected, extra life, score, ammo, such things. Ooh, don't jump into the green stuff, it's deadly. Oops. Ah. You know, one interesting thing about the Keen games is you can see how the engine kept getting better and more advanced with each next game. So this very first game, you see the whole level has this uniform gray background and not many special effects. But then in the next game they had a more detailed background, more effects, and then the third game even more, you know, graphical effects. So the engine was kept being developed as the new games were made. This one was the first, so of course it uses the most primitive version of the engine. Where am I? Ooh, looks dangerous. Very dangerous. There is a challenging area which is like a tower. Oh yeah, that's the place. A tower that you have to climb with some very tricky jumps. That's the place. If you want to reach the bonus at the top, you have to perform some very tricky jumps to get up there. Oops. Yeah, it's difficult. It usually takes me some time to do it properly. Ah, that's it. You can do it. Oops. But if you make a mistake, you can fall down quite a lot. So yeah, this tower is probably the most distinctive feature of this level. Oh, I did it! It actually took me less time than usual. I got lucky. I guess we can head for the exit. As you can see, the whole level is made of these red bricks, so there really isn't much to look at. Where's the exit? Yeah, pogo jumping is a very important aspect of this game. Where am I? Aha, I think I know the way. I know the way! Okay, and to the left. Aha, that's where we're trying to go. And here we can see a small error in the level design, you know. You're supposed to go up there, but you can't because this passage is way too narrow. Tom, what did you do? Oops, that was a mistake on my part. I'll just climb up. These guys. Okay, let's not mess it up this time. Ooh, that was a lot of treasure. There's some more there, but it's a very risky jump. I don't want to try it. And that's it. Yeah, you know, it's not something very special, but you know, for a first attempt, not so bad. Then you take this teleporter, and it brings you back to this place. And notice that the Red Maze City remains uncompleted, so if you want to actually mark it as beaten, you have to enter it again and this time use the regular exit. And I think the secret exit still works. You can take it and get teleported back to the secret valley again, but there's nothing left to do in there, so it's pointless. Yeah, so that was it. Yeah. So, in closing, what can I say? Yeah, it's decently well hidden. You know, you have to actually get to the underworld and then do some risky jumps, including one with an ice cannon and avoid a guard robot. The level itself, you know, it could have easily been a regular level itself, since there's nothing really all that distinctive about it. But hey, it was the very first, so it has quite a historical value after all. Well, that's it for this episode. See you next time when we'll be going to Keen episode 3. That's right, not 2, 3. Keen 2 doesn't have a secret level. And that's because, you know, this engine allows for 16 level slots. And Keen 2 already has 10 mandatory levels and 6 optional ones, so all level slots were occupied. They simply couldn't squeeze a secret level in. Yeah. So anyway, see you next time. I hope you enjoy this new experimental project. Well, not really experimental, but it's something I haven't done before, so it's all new to me. Well, goodbye.